Hey there, Nicole Sims here, your boutique expert, and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new, welcome and hello. I am what they call a visual merchandising and marketing strategist that I help grow established boutique owners and fashion brands through visual merchandising and marketing in-store and online. And I give advice and I give information and I give training techniques over my 35 years of experience in the retail industry. I've helped tons of brands achieve visual and marketing and sales success, as well as independent retailers and boutique owners. And now I'm using this channel to help you guys with the knowledge that I have. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about something that I think is very, very important that sometimes gets lacking once you grow and when you scale. So if you're a premium brand who's thinking about expanding to another location, or you are a brand that already has multiple locations, or you actually have a brand that's doing very well online and off, I want to talk to you about consistency. Yes, being consistent. This is something that a lot of brands sometimes lose when they grow, lose when they expand because there's so much going on. But today I'm going to talk about something that could be really killing your business if you're not being consistent. Consistency is a key to having a well-established brand to grow and to scale well and stay profitable. So you want to know how to stay consistent online, offline, and with all your multiple stores. Stay tuned. Okay, so being consistent is very important to any brand. Consistency really helps you boost your sales. It really helps you connect with your customers, and it keeps you being a market leader in your industry and your niche. So first I'm going to talk about why you want to be consistent. And then I'm going to talk about how you can be consistent through online and in store and across your multiple stores. All right. So being consistent, first of all, it builds trust. People trust consistent brands. So no matter where they go and no matter how they interact with your brand, if they see the same look, the same feel, the same messaging, the same color palette, everything flows and seamless, you feel more professional, more in tune to what's going on, and you're more trustworthy. And customers buy from brands they trust. Now for brands to give them mixed messages. So can be an example of showing one place online and one place on the store. So you have a nice luxe feel online. They found you doing an ad, or they found you doing your marketing or on social media. It looks luxe and plush and they love it. Then they go to your store and it's very underwhelming. It doesn't feel the same way. Or they go to one store where they live in one area and I say, hey, I'm in this area today. I want to go to that store and check out their store in this location, and it feels completely different. They could have different vibes. Don't get me wrong. If you have a store in one part of the state and has a different kind of feel in the other part of the state, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the look and feel and interaction, and the branding message should be the same. Whether you have a location that's on the beach and then you have a location that's downtown, of course, the customers are slightly different, so you want to feel slightly different. But your standards, the way you come across, your merchandising, your flow, your brand messaging, all should be the same. So consistency builds trust. It also makes you look very more professional, like I said, and gives you a higher part in the being a competitive edge. If you're more competitive, and the edge, people are like, hey, this brand is so great. I know it's great. No matter where I go online and store, the multiple stores, is always the same great feel. Okay, so you want to make sure you're dealing with that. Being consistent also gives you a signature look and brand message. So people know who you are and recognize your brand regardless of where they interact with you. If it's online, social media, in one of your other stores, they know that it's you. Think of the iconic brands you think of right now. Think of Chanel. Think of The Gap. Think of Victoria's Secret. You can tell their store no matter where they are, online and off, because they have a signature brand message. No matter where you interact with them, the brand is the same. And that's what you want for your brand, for your boutique, for your business. You want to make sure that online feels the same way it is if you go to the store, and all your locations look and feel the same. And you want to make sure that your social media, everywhere you show up, your brand messaging is the same. Your look and feel is the same. You want to stay consistent because it boosts your credibility, it boosts your sales, it builds your trust, and it gives you a signature look that says, hey, that's the brand that I know, love, and want to shop with. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the actually 8 areas within your brand you want to make sure you stay consistent. Sounds like a lot, but I really want to break it down and be more detailed instead of being more general so you understand how important it is, and you can go away, take some notes, and figure out how you can use it in your brand. So number 1, if you have multiple locations, physical locations, you want to make sure that number 1, that your windows tell the same story, that you're executing the same message, the same product line, or same product lines with the same type of styling. So you're making sure that everything is seasonally on point and that every single location is showing the same message. Now, again, like I said earlier, if you have some kind of regional area where it's one part of the city or one part of the country that's different and you have to make little slight tweaks, that's fine. But you want to make sure, again, it still feels like your brand, feels like your messaging, they're saying the same message. So if you have a location in Northern California, which is a little bit cooler, and location in Southern California, which is a little warmer, you might not show the same exact items. But if you have a location in the same city that has a similar feel and look as far as weather is concerned, you should be having the exact same items. The key is you want to make sure, again, that you're communicating to your customers, this is us, no matter where you find them. The next thing with your visual merchandising is you want to make sure that your styling is the same. So one thing that's signature about certain brands is how they style and how they merchandise. For example, when I was a regional visual coordinator for Sports Authority, I had 120 stores. My biggest account was Nike. And as you could probably guess, Nike was very, very picky. Nike had very, very strong standards, which is the number 1 apparel and footwear retailer in the world when it comes to where they are, the niche. So they had every right to be. They drew sales, they drew traffic just by being with the swish. So we had to make sure that I had 120 stores had to have the same exact styling of Nike, regardless of volume, regardless if they had a brand shop or not, if they're using shop fixtures from Nike, or they're using hybrid fixtures where partly from the store, partly from Nike, or completely store fixtures. The styling and the merchandising had to be the same. It was my job to ensure that that happened. So one reason you do that is because Nike wants to make sure no matter where you go in the country, no matter what big brand or what store you go to, whether it's Dick's, whether it's Sports Authority at the time, whether it's Kohl's, whether it's Foot Locker, the brand styling is the same. The standards are the same. Now, some companies kind of do their own styling, but when it comes to Nike, that's not allowed. So if you have Nike in your building, you have to make them believe they're doing Nike standard, because they want to make sure, again, that that brand message does not get diluted somewhere in Iowa. People think that in a small volume store is the same strong message as going to Manhattan. Okay, that's how you want to think. You want to think that your styling is the same, your standards are the same. So you have to create, I'm going to get down a little later, some styling techniques to make sure that it's signified to you, that's communicated to everyone. Right? So how you style your mannequins, how you do your floors, your fixtures, your tables, your walls, you have to set that standard so it's communicated throughout and everyone's on the same page. So the third way you want to make sure you're staying consistent across brands is your signage and your messaging. So make sure every single location and online has the same font. Sounds kind of minute, sounds kind of picky, but it does matter. It comes across, again, as being cohesive and seamless brand messaging. So make sure you're using the same fonts. You're actually telling the same stories at every single store. Again, your customer might be slightly different if you're in different parts of the city or the country, but the messaging of that brand and your sales are the same. Your sales are the same, your brand messaging are the same. You want to make sure that your fonts are the same. So make sure you have a template that goes through every single store, a template to use online as well as in store and on social media. So wherever you show up, you have the same font, same message, and your tone of voice. Are you fun-filled? Are you serious? Are you direct? Are you kind of aloof? That has to come across in every single message in every single store and online and on social. So no matter how you communicate within your multi-locations, how you communicate with your omni-channels is still the same. Okay, so 4 and 5 on how to stay consistent. So number 4, I kind of mentioned a little bit before, but have consistent styling of your mannequins and throughout your store. So create a guide. Create a guide to make sure that you communicate to your people at all your locations. This is how we style our mannequins. This is how we do our face outs. This is how we do our tables. This is how we do our walls. This is how we do our floor fixtures. This is how we create our focal points. Everything is actually regimented by you to make sure that it's communicated the same, so it looks the same regardless of seasonality, regardless of location. Okay, number 5, way to be consistent is with your color palette and your visual identity. And basically what that means is that you want to make sure whatever your color palette for your brand that you chose, that it shows up every single where you are. So all the stores use the exact same colors for their signage, for their marketing, for the bags. They use the exact same color for your online store. And so everywhere you see is the same color palette. So don't have one color palette be in this store, another color palette be in that store, another color palette be online. It should be all the same. And also making sure your visual identity, the way you, like I said, we talked about styling. Also talk about the way you actually display your items should be the same. Your lighting should be the same. It should be, if you want to go for a nice, cool look and very cool and clean, that should be how it is in every single store. If you want to go for a more warm ambiance look, that should be the same in every store. And also, when you're putting things together, you're using cool props and using different things in your store, make sure your props and lighting are on brand. For example, if you are a luxe high-end brand, your lights should be a little bit darker, a little bit more moody, a little bit more serious, instead of bright and bold and different colors. The same way when using props, your props should be elegant, they should be rich, they should be luxurious feeling and plush, like with velvet or nice hard wood. There shouldn't be any kind of plastic, something like that. So you want to make sure that all your props and everything using through every single location matches the way your brand looks. That keeps it consistent. So again, if you have one store that has beautiful lighting, great ambiance, really warm messaging, really nice lush props and stools and seating, and then they go to the same store about 30 minutes away and it's plastic and it's bright and it's loud and doesn't really match, but it's still supposed to be the same store, it's going to be mixed messaging. Okay, but it is when you have your fast fashion and you have a nice, bright, fun, cheeky image, it should be the same way as well. So if you have a nice, bright lighting, really cool colors throughout, really cool, kind of neat, eclectic chairs, it should be the same thing in your other location. Okay, so that's what it means to be consistent. Just keep thinking, and I keep saying, we keep probably oversaying it, but you want to make sure that you have the same brand and feel, the same look and feel, no matter where a customer interacts with you. Okay. Way number 6 to be consistent. This should apply to everyone watching, okay? Because everyone should have an online store and use the social media. Now, I've mentioned that a little bit before in previous tips, but now I'm going to really dive into it. So your online store has to match your brand. There should be no disconnection whatsoever to your physical store, your online store. It should be the same look and feel and flow. Now, how you do that is back to what I said in the previous point, number 5, your color messaging. Your color that you have throughout your store should be the same colors you use on your webpage, especially your homepage, but your entire website pages should be weaved in with the same color palette. There should be no deviation from that. And you want to make sure also that you want to mirror your online homepage with your floor sets in store. That's another way people see something online, especially on your homepage, and it's something that got their attention, they really like it, then they go to your store. That should be what's in your windows, and it should be what's up front in your focal points and your focal areas in your floor plan. So they know, hey, this is the same thing. This is the same cohesive message because I saw this online. It was on the homepage. Now go into first thing I walked into in the window is that same outfit or the same item, or it's folded down on the table when I first walk in. So you want to coordinate your floor plans, whatever you're focusing on seasonally or for the particular period should be also what's on your homepage, so it matches that way as well. And then social media. This is a big thing I see a lot of my clients did, and I see a lot of smaller brands do, is they don't match their social media. You spend a lot of time on social media. You spend a lot of ways, that's one of your main marketing tools. Make sure you're not wasting your time and effort by doing all these wonderful posts and doing all these great videos and reels, and it doesn't match the brand. So you're doing all this work. You might be getting likes, but people aren't going to shop because when they go to your store online or they go inside, it's like, wait a minute, this is not the same brand that I just saw on this TikTok, and not the same brand I saw on this reels. So you want to make sure that your social media presence looks the same. Again, goes with that color. So your color messaging has to be the same. Your backgrounds, your fonts, everything needs to be the same on social media. And you want to actually, again, connect all three. So what I said about the floor plan and the floor sets and your key items that you want to focus on in your stores also mirrors in your homepage, should also mirror your messaging. So it all goes together on social media. So your reels and your TikToks, whatever you're doing on social media, is based on what's going on online, which is also based on what's going on in store. A nice seamless message. Again, you want to make sure every touch point is the same. Every touch point feels the same for that customer, because you might think it's small, but anything that's off, that doesn't match, is going to repel those customers, make some confusing messages. I really like that brand. I really liked it, but when I went to the store, it wasn't the same. I really like that brand when I went to the store, that I actually wanted to shop online instead of traveling. And it wasn't the same way, it wasn't the same feel. Okay, so really make sure that you're using the same messages on your homepage, which is the most important message. If you haven't seen that, I have a video that you want to look at, talk about the 5 ways to make sure that your store sells online. I talk about the homepage, go deep into the homepage. You want to make sure you check out that video if you haven't already. And really look at that. Make sure that your homepage is really aligned, because again, you can be bouncing customers off who are interested just by not being aligned with your homepage, your social, and your in-store presence. Okay, way number 7 to stay consistent in your brand is through your packaging and in customer service when people are checking out. So first, with the packaging, this is an easier one you can do, because basically you buy the same packaging, the same tissue paper, same bag, same stickers, and make sure that every single location has a ship to them. Plain and simple. And you also make sure that same exact packaging is the same as that packaging used when you ship from your online store. That should be the same thing. So you'll make sure whoever doing your shipping from your store or shipping from your online store or has the same materials and packaging, and it looks exactly the same. So it's folded the same, it's stickered the same, it's given the same way, has the same thank you note, same thank you card, whatever. Everything is online, on point, and on brand. Then make sure that your checkouts are seamless in-store and online. There's a lot of mistakes a lot of boutique owners make, no matter how long they've been in business, is they kind of leave the checkout kind of thing at the last minute. Well, they might have a great checkout in store, but online it's clunky, confusing, has too many hoops to go through. It doesn't work all the way. It asks me the questions. It doesn't really go with it's really seamless, or vice versa. Online is very nice, but on store, it's like, thank you, hi, here's your package, have a nice day. So you want to make sure you want to keep it elevated, keep it luxury, no matter what kind of brand you are. Fast fashion or not, you still want to have a luxury checkout experience, because people remember that when it's easy and seamless and it makes them feel good about themselves. Okay, way number 8. So way number 8 is going to be one of the most important ones, which is training your staff. Your staff across all locations have to know what the brand messaging needs to be, have to know what the standards are, and to be able to communicate that through all levels of management, all levels of your team, and people who actually work for your online store, who take care of your online visuals, online merchandising, online marketing, as well as social media marketer. Every single person that has a touch point in business needs to know what's going on. But the most important thing is to have the right tools and the right communication methods to talk to your people. So you want to make sure you have a standard that actually is a guide that every single person has access to. No matter when they start, no matter how long they work there, there's a guide that every single location can actually reference to how you want visuals, how you want the standards, how you want the merchandising, all to come across, the brand messaging. And there should be some training done when a person gets onboarded. There should be training. Every single person, there should be refresh training every 6 months to go through what's going on differently for the season, or anything that's changed that you want to change up or update. Every single person that works for you in your company needs to understand the importance of the brand messaging and the visuals and how to execute them. Make sure you have hands-on training. Make sure one thing that I did, one of the things that got me started actually in visual merchandising, is when I was actually the visual touch point for my district. I wasn't a district visual, I wasn't a visual manager, I was actually a co-manager, but I was so good at visual merchandising that my DM was like, you know what, you're really good at this. And I have stores who are struggling to meet the execution, to meet the floor plans, to get execution. Will you be willing to go to other stores and train and help them with their floor sets? needs. So find that person in your stores, do the same thing. All right. If you can hire someone like me to help you train, that'd be awesome as well. They actually give you a plan, develop one for you, actually run through the training with your staff in store or on Zoom, however you want to do it. But you want to make sure that you're doing something where it's hands-on training. The guide is the first part, so the communication there, and that's consistent. But there's nothing more valuable than having someone in there and someone with them hands-on teaching them what they need to be doing. All right. So you want to make sure that you're communicating everything. You have your guides, you have your tools. Another thing you can do is have checklists. Checklists work phenomenally. I had checklists when I was a regional manager, when I was district manager. People gave me checklists. I gave checklists and created them for them. There's ways to make sure that you're staying on track every single floor set, every single collection, every single move. You make sure you're ticking off the standard box. Now I have one. Boutique Success Tools, where it's a very simple one for online and off. It's really easy checkpoint, about 20 things to make sure it's by category to make sure you keep doing. But you can use this checklist to actually make your own and kind of revise it so you do the important things for all the standards you want, but then add your own thing that you want to make sure that your team knows. So that's going to be the biggest thing, just to make sure your team is communicating. Make sure your online person who does your online store, they know what your sales are going to be. They know what your floor plans are going to be. They know what your high items are going to be, your key items for that period. They're also making sure it stays consistent with the brand messaging and the color. Everything has to be on point. Okay. These are the things that really help people grow, help people stay, and actually sell faster. So again, if you really want to make sure that you're doing the right messaging, you want to make sure your people are driving this the best and the hardest. Okay, there you have it. Those are the key ways you can stay consistent with your brands, so you can make sure that all your locations, all your omni-channels are coming forth and really being consistent. Because let's face it, consistency breeds trust. Consistency makes you look at you stand out as a brand. It really makes you elevated as a brand, and it boosts sales. That's the most important thing. Having consistent brand messaging throughout all your channels, throughout all your stores, really boosts sales because people aren't confused. It's seamless, and they really, really trust you. Okay, so I'm going to recap as quickly as I can the 8 ways you want to make sure that you're staying consistent. And you want to concentrate on the ones that you think need the most work now to make that move that needle now. All of them need to be addressed. All need to be happening. But some maybe you're pretty well on others, and some things you really want to dive into today to really make sure that you're making that change for your brand messaging. So number 1 are your mannequins. So make sure your window displays, which includes mannequins, your window displays are on point and they're consistent regardless of all the different locations. Right, you want to make sure they're styled and they're showcasing the same seasonal message if possible. Okay, so number 4 are your product styling and mannequins. So again, how you style your product, how you style your mannequins. Make sure you get that guideline created if you haven't already. Have a guideline. This is how we fold our tables. This is how we fold our shirts. This is how we hang our face out. This is how we style our mannequins. This is what we do on our floor fixtures. This is how we do our focal points. You make those decisions and then make a guide to make sure everyone understands what those things are. Then you want to make sure, number 5, that your color palette and your visual identity are all the same. So again, the brand colors that you chose at the beginning, every single store is showing the same brand colors, whether it's in signage, whether it's in any kind of thing online. Your homepage needs to have the same side colors. Your social media is the same, have the same kind of colors, and your visual identity. So the lighting in your store, making sure the lighting is the same throughout all the same locations. The look, the feel, the ambiance is the same throughout all locations. And then number 6, you want to make sure that your online presence and your customer service social media is great. Customer service is another one, sorry. So your online and your social media are all together. There we go. So your online is together. So again, the same color palette, the same font, the same brand messaging. And one of the key ways I talked about was making sure whatever you're focused on in store, so the new sale you have going on, the new collection, whatever's in your front windows, that should also be in your social media posts. That should also be in your homepage. So it's nice and seamless. So wherever they touch you, they know what the new product is. They know what your color messaging is. They know what your brand messaging is. Your sale message, everything is the same. Okay, now we talk about your customer service and your packaging. So that's number 7. So you're making sure that your packaging are the same, no matter if they buy it online or in store, that you have the same paper, the same bags, same stickers, it's folded the same, it's shipped the same, it looks the same in store, it has the same thank you card, it looks the same, feels the same with all locations and online, and then make sure your checkout is seamless. That people actually remember your checkout. Like, oh, it was such a great experience checking out with them in store. Oh, their online store is so well put together because the checkout was so easy, so simple, so quick. All right. So you want to make sure those experiences are the same. And then last, but I think definitely not least, is you want to make sure you do your associate training with your people. That you train your people on what your standards are. You communicate to everyone in your stores, online, does your social media. You communicate that, and you make sure they understand what your brand messaging should be, what the seasonal sets are going to be, what your standards are in every single inch of your store, your customer service standards. All right, so you want to make sure you have trainings with these people. You give them the information. You can read it with a guide, which is important, but you want to have some kind of one-on-one training or group training on every single associate, because you can ensure that they have it. That's what I did when I was regional manager. Most of my job was to train people. I was very good at communicating. I communicate across 120 stores and got the same message, but it's still great to have that in-person touch to make sure that execution is correct, understanding is there, and also to kind of show them in case they really understand it. 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, I can actually show them how to do it. So again, if you have that person like I was when I started my career, where I was actually the touch person visually for the whole entire district, or you can hire someone like me to actually help you train your staff. But you want to make sure that you're doing that onboarding, you're doing that training. You don't leave it a chance. The manager understands it. Oh, they got it. They have the guys, they're good. No, make sure that everyone from top to bottom understands and gets it. Okay? Because the reason why this is so important is, again, like I said, the beginning of this video, the middle of this video, your consistency builds your sales. When your customers trust you, they want to buy from you. Okay, so that's it. So it's a lot today, but I really want to go make sure that you guys understand the consistency. I see this in so many stores, so many ways. Even when I was working with my past positions, that was my job. One reason I had a job was to keep that consistency, to keep that communication, to make sure that the brands, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, North Face, Sobe, all the brands we had who have very high standards, that they were communicated and executed well in every single location. And you can't do that by happenstance. It doesn't happen by happenstance. It happens with actual intentionality, right tools, as well as communication. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your comments, what your thoughts are, any questions you might have, or any ideas for the next videos you want to see. But I really make sure that you subscribe, that you share this, that you like this video, and you tell me what you want to see in future videos. Again, this channel is for you. The channel is to grow and scale your business. So thank you so much for showing up, for viewing, and see you in the next video.